Peace and blessings, family. This is Brother Shareef with the Hour of Power. Go to Hour of Power Shareef Hamid on YouTube. Subscribe and share so we can continue to lift the mind, body, and soul of our people. For those tuning in on Facebook Live, if you can hit the share button and hit watch party, I greatly appreciate it. What that does is bring more people in to the message. So hit the share button and hit watch party. I won't be long. I know the hour is late, but it's a lot going on. I see a lot of my people struggling with their health, and it's something that I've been trying to be more aware of and practice. This isn't no make you feel bad and beat up session. Anyone knows me knows I'm here to empower my people through love and knowledge, but sometimes the messages are a little hard to digest, so to speak. I know this isn't a comfortable topic, but it needs to be said because I know a lot of our people are struggling with health issues, and mostly it's because of what we're consuming, what we're taking in. I wish I could show it, but earlier I posted, and you can look this up. It's a digital map of all the McDonald's in America. Go to my page if you're my friend on Facebook, and you can see it. It's a digital map of all the McDonald's in America, and it's orange dots that represent all the McDonald's. Looks like a Christmas tree. Unbelievable the amount of McDonald's in America. So go on my page if you have access to it, or you can just Google the number of McDonald's in America, and a digital map should pop up, and it'll show it's all orange dots. It's not a Christmas tree, but it looks like it, and it shows all the McDonald's in America. That's not real food. I don't know what it is. I've told this story before when I had my good brother Eric Negron on. If you're here in the New York area, he has Healthy Living Foods, which is a stand at the historic Penn Street Market, and he sells fresh fruits and vegetables and produce. So definitely support him. And then there's two other vegan or vegetarian stands right next to him, so definitely support them because they're supplying healthy living food. But I told this story before about when I used to work in North Carolina with a sister. We had a cubicle in our office, and she was getting ready to go on vacation, and she got some McDonald's. And when she left, her cubicle was right next to mine. When she left, she forgot her food in her cubicle. I don't bother people's station. And she was gone for about 2 weeks. When she came back, she said, "Oh, I forgot my food here all this time. Y'all didn't clean it up?" I said, "No, I didn't, bother your station." The French fries looked the same as they did when she left it there 2 weeks ago. If it's real food, real potatoes, how could the French fries not break down after 2 weeks? So that goes to show you that, sorry to burst your bubble, that food isn't real food. And we've had this craze over pot pies and Chick-fil-A, and these things aren't new, but how can we possibly, with all the places that sell chicken, Chick-fil-A, Popeyes, you can even get a chicken sandwich from McDonald's, all these places selling chicken, how do they supply that demand for that amount of chicken or beef? Is it that many cows and that many chickens for the amount of beef hamburgers and chicken sandwiches that they sell? Just a question, just something for you to think about. Is it really beef, and is it really chicken? How can it be that many chickens and that many cows, the supply, the demand for all the places? And I don't even count the all you can eat places that have chicken and beef. Just a thought. So the amount of McDonald's in America is out of control, but we're struggling with our health. Listen to these statistics about how black people struggle with their health. This is the Hour of Power. Go to Hour of Power Shareef Hamid on YouTube, subscribe and share, and hit the share button and hit watch party if you're listening in live. I appreciate it. We are here to lift your mind, your body, and your soul. It's all connected. It's not a make you feel bad party, but make you feel bad enough to maybe want to make some change. Not just you, me. The state of black health scores below every other race in the U.S. Listen to this. Every year, 250,000 blacks, the number of people equal to the population in Birmingham, Alabama, are killed by the 10 biggest killers of blacks of all ages. I'm going to say that again. The state of black health scores below every other race. How is that? We are the original people, the kings and the queens of the planet Earth from Mother Africa. How did we get in this condition? Not that I want anyone in this condition, but it happens to be us. Our health scores below every other race in the U.S. Every year, 250,000, which is 250,000 black people die each year from the 10 biggest killers, and that's equivalent to Birmingham, Alabama. So that would be like just one day if you lived in Birmingham, Alabama, all the people just be gone. 250,000. What are those 10 biggest killers? Heart disease, cancer, stroke, AIDS, accidents, homicide, diabetes, pneumonia, influenza, chronic pulmonary diseases such as asthma and bronchitis, and infant mortality. Those are the 10 killers of black people that kill at least 250,000 of us a year, which is equivalent to the population of Birmingham, Alabama. I'm going to say those again and see if you or any family member has been affected by this. It's almost like clockwork. Heart disease, cancer, stroke, AIDS, accidents, homicide. This city is out of control with homicide, diabetes, pneumonia, influenza, chronic pulmonary diseases such as asthma and bronchitis, infant mortality. 79,680 black boys and men were violently murdered between 1985 and 1993, mostly by other blacks. If blacks had the same mortality rate as whites, about 64,000 people each year, more than all Americans who died in the Vietnam War, would still be alive. Whites live 6 years longer than blacks. So that's just a little bit of what's going on with our health. Another story about a co-worker. I had a brother who I used to work with. This brother was only 27, 28 years old, and he had missed a couple days of work, and then he had finally came into the office, and he was on crutches. That brother's only 27 years old. And I said, would you get in an accident or playing basketball, hurt your knee or something? He said no, and this is the first time I really heard this before and knew what it done. I heard of it, but I really didn't know what it did. He said, no, I have gout. I said, gout? I said, what is that? He said, oh, it's a lot of inflammation, and it's inflammation in your joints, and it gives you a lot of pain in your joints, knees and different things like that. And I said, what's the cause of that? And he said, well, my doctor told me that I have too much sodium in my system from eating too much lunch meat. Like the beef lunch meat or the turkey lunch meat. This brother had eaten so much lunch meat and so much sodium and salt, which that's what sodium is. It built up in his system. He developed gout, and he was walking around on crutches like an injured football player, 27 years old. And he said that's what it came from, and the doctor told him only to back off of the lunch meat, not get rid of it and go and eat more fruits and vegetables. He said just back off. So it's definitely some changes that need to be made, with our diet. Eat from the rainbow of fruits and vegetables. And you can even Google, God is so merciful that each color gives off its own benefits from the rainbow of fruits and vegetables. Greens, help out with the immune system, helps fight off cancer. When I look down what the green family does, from the fruits and vegetables, what the white family does, the purple, the orange, almost all of them said one of the benefits was fighting off cancer. And I just told you that's one of the 10 deadly killers that kill 250,000 black people. Helps boost the immune system. All those different colors. I wish I had that list in front of me of the different benefits. And I hope these messages are helping our people. That'll be my contribution while I can do it. All the putting the programs together and all that stuff. This is going to be my contribution when I can. And it was just on my heart to share this information because I see so many people struggling with their health. So try to back off of the meat. You don't got to go vegan or vegetarian. I suggest it, but at least try to make some adjustments. Backing off the meat. Eat more fruits and vegetables, live food. I hate to burst your bubble, but beef, chicken, all those things, it's not live food. If you're eating chicken, you're basically eating a dead animal. What nutritional, and I know we are so used to this, and that's why it's so hard to break, because almost like the Bible and the Quran says, when the prophets used to come to the people, this is off topic, but it's on topic. In the Bible and the Quran, when the prophets would come to the people to offer them a different way of life of how to follow God. And let's take Abraham, for example. He had to clear the house of worship of 360 idols, and one of the idol worshippers was his father and people who were like him. And he said, why are you doing this? Why are you worshiping an idol that can't speak to you and do you no benefit? You know what their answer was? They said, we found our forefathers doing this practice, so that's what we do. So again, Abraham said, why are you doing this? This has no benefit to you, meaning worshiping idols. 360 idols in the house, and Abraham, according to scripture, cleared it out for the worship of one God. He said, why are you doing this? He said, these idols can't speak to you. They can't do anything for you. They said, we found our forefathers doing it, so that's what we do. So we found our forefathers eating swine, and I'm going to talk about that in a couple seconds. Eating all these unhealthy things, especially with the transatlantic slave trade, when they gave us food that dogs wouldn't even eat. And then we adopted it as if it was normal. But we ain't used to eat this way and have these unhealthy eating practices. Go show me, for those of you who follow the Bible and call yourself Christian, go in the Bible and see where you see hot dogs and hamburgers. I don't want to gross you out and tell you what's really in a hot dog. It's all kind of smashed up, unhealthy things. Look in the ingredients of what a hot dog is. But this is what we found our forefathers doing. Gave us food that dogs wouldn't even eat. Mashed up yams and swine when they knew we didn't eat that stuff. So as time went along, just like they said of old, we found our forefathers doing it. But there's no nutritional value in something that is dead. I hate to tell you this, but our lives depend on it. There's no nutritional value in something that is dead. A chicken, it's a dead animal. A cow, from the beef, it's a dead animal. No nutritional value in it. We need to eat live foods. You don't see no hamburgers and hot dogs in the Bible, but you will see fruits and vegetables. Live food that has true nutritional value. Just try it. I ain't here to beat up on you, because I'm in a transition with my diet, but I've been doing it for a while and it makes me feel better. But you tell me, what can possibly be the nutritional value in something that is dead? Chicken and beef and all that stuff which we're used to eating, there's no nutritional value in it. It's dead. The nutritional value is in live foods, fruits, vegetable, plant-based foods. And I hope in finishing out, we're more than halfway through 2019, that we still ain't eating swine. I hope that we are at the level that we at least know that chitlins and pork and all that stuff, it is no good for you. Actually, the Bible tells you the exact opposite. Get this book. Exposing the New Dangers of Pork, coming from the teachings of Elijah Muhammad. Do you know that even scientists, they can't really track the origin of the hog? That it's, I'm going to say it again, even scientists cannot track the origin of the hog or the pig because it's a grafted animal. The Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad taught us this. It is a grafted animal that is 99% poisonous, meaning the swine, the pig. It is created to eat garbage off of a farm. When farmers want to get rid of snakes and all kind of other animals that aren't beneficial to the farm, that's why they have the pigs there. They're 99% poisonous. They have at the bottom of their hoof, pus is continuously draining out of it. It's almost like having another butthole, so to speak. But pus and poison is constantly oozing out of it's a hole, it's a drainage hole at the hoof of a pig. It's 99% poisonous. If a snake bit a pig, you could find the most poisonous snake. It bite a pig, the pig at the worst might grunt. Because the poison in the snake does nothing to the pig because it's 99% poison. And we're cooking this. You cannot get rid of the poison that is in swine. And our parents, grandparents, used to tell us, well, if we cook it long enough, no. Mm-mm. I don't know who told them that, but it's not true. Look at these worms that lay within swine. Look at that. They're called trichinae worms. Trichinae worms, dozens of them, if not more, lie within swine. You cannot cook it out. They're there. Look at those worms. And then they travel up your spine and start eating away at your spine. You can look up YouTube videos and see how sometimes people have gotten sick and they had to go into their brain and start picking out worms and parasites out their brain from these trichinae worms that the doctors don't tell you about, that is in swine. In Isaiah 66, chapter 66, verse 17, it talks about what Elijah Muhammad taught us years ago, that actually the hog is a grafted animal, grafted between a rat, a cat, and a dog. Look at it. It resembles and has attributes of all three. I'ma say it again. The hog, the pig, really has no origin. It is a grafted animal from a rat, a cat, and a dog. And this is what we're eating. In Isaiah 66:17, it says that they sanctify themselves and purify themselves in the garden behind one tree in the midst, eating swine's flesh, an abomination, and the mouse shall be consumed together, saith the Lord. It is a grafted animal of a rat, a cat, and a dog. It has no origin because it's grafted. And it's on the farm to eat all the garbage. And people say, oh, that's nasty. It's doing what God created it to do. Did you hear me? It's a grafted animal. That they sanctify themselves and purify themselves in the gardens behind one tree in the midst, eating swine's flesh, an abomination. Do you know what abomination means? It's something that bombs a nation. So it's saying eating this way, eating this nasty, filthy animal that will have sex with its own young, bombs a nation, an abomination. And the mouse shall be consumed together. And in Leviticus 11:7 says, and the swine, though he divide the hoof, and be cloven-footed, yet cheweth not the cud, he is unclean to you. Of their flesh you shall not eat, and their carcass shall not touch. They are unclean to you. And then some pastors say, if I just pray over the food, it's okay. Oh, really? Come on, man. You're supposed to be schooled and almost scholarly in the Bible. And you telling and tricking the people, telling them if you pray over the food, it's okay to eat, even though God clearly says don't even touch the swine. And we've been taught that the swine is a grafted animal between a rat, a cat, and a dog. And you're saying just pray over it? Okay. Try this logic. Let's say this is a bottle of cyanide, poison. It isn't, it's cough syrup. But let's just say this is a bottle of cyanide and poison. And we're going to use your theology, if you want to call it that. You're supposed prayer. Are you telling me if I pray over this poison, it's okay for me to drink it? Because remember, you said if you pray over food, it's okay to eat, even though God has clearly told us. And I know what some of y'all are thinking. Oh, well, that's in the Old Testament. But in the New Testament, it's a renewing of the mind, and that did away with the old law. So we don't have to follow that, which supposedly justifies if we pray over the food, it's okay to eat. It's the New Testament, and we don't have to follow the old law. But that's not what Matthew 5:17 says. I didn't mean this to be no theology class. I'm not no scholar of the Bible. I'm not no scholar of the Quran. I'm just a scholar of common sense. I believe I have a lot of common sense, but I don't claim to be no scholar. This is very simple. In Matthew 5:17, Jesus said, I didn't come to change the old law. I just came to fulfill it. Jesus was a Jew. None of the prophets ate swine. If any of the prophets, whether you believe in them or not, came to your dinner table and you tried to give them a pork sandwich, they would look at you like you're crazy. Because all of them ate a healthy diet. They ain't eat no swine. They ain't eat no swine. You don't see no hamburgers and hot dogs and all that stuff in the Bible, but you do see fruits, vegetables, lentils, live food. I just don't understand for the life of me why a pastor who is supposed to be knowledgeable of the book would sit there and tell his followers, if you pray over the food, it's okay to eat. Maybe that's why we're dying so much from the 10 killers. I'm going to read it again because some of y'all may have came in late. Please share this message. I read this in the beginning. It says, the state of black health is worse than every other race in the United States. Every year, 250,000 black people, the number of people equal to the population in Birmingham, Alabama, are killed by the 10 biggest killers of black people of all ages. Heart disease, cancer, stroke, AIDS, accidents, homicide, diabetes, pneumonia, influenza, chronic pulmonary diseases such as asthma and bronchitis, and infant mortality. Those are the 10 biggest killers of black people. Over 79,000 black boys and men were violently murdered between 1985 and 1993. And we see the murders here in York. I tried to have a march yesterday to bring the brothers together to address the violence, and only 10 brothers showed up. But that's okay. That's okay. But this is just talking about our health. Some changes got to be made. Our future depends on it. This ain't no beat up session. But ain't no way more than halfway through 2019 we should still be eating swine. I see people on Facebook bragging about eating chitlins. Chitlins. Intestines. Making that garbage in the house, stinking up the whole house. I remember my mom used to make that stuff during the holidays or the holidays. Chitlins. We in 2019. The swine, the pig. None of the prophets ate it. And you got supposed men of God saying if you just pray over the food, how come these pastors aren't having talks about health? I'm not in every church, but you can look at church online now. How come they ain't having these talks? Because they're swine eaters. They're flesh eaters. And they don't have a healthy diet. So, of course, they can't have no sermon. And I ain't saying none of them ain't doing it, but some of the ones I see on TV is don't look too healthy. I ain't gonna say any names. Now, let me backtrack with that a little bit. I did hear Joel Osteen, a white man, this prosperity teacher. I did see him give a talk on not eating pork. I gotta give that to him. A white man, Joel Osteen, and he talked about, I don't think he talks about it much, but he did mention it, about the dangers of eating swine. So we're taught to give credit where credit is due. I think he's swindling the people in other ways, but at least he had enough testicular fortitude to at least talk about the dangers of eating swine. But these black pastors saying if you just pray over your food, it's okay. Again, just use your common sense. Take that mindset, take that teaching, if you want to call it that. And if this was a bottle of poison, would you take that teaching and implement it in your life and say, I'm going to just pray over this poison? Clearly tells you it's cyanide, and I'm going to drink it if I pray over it. They said prayer, but God wants you to have common sense. He don't want you to be no fool. Pray over the food, and it's okay. Even though Isaiah 66, I just read it to you, tells us that the pig is a grafted animal. It's a grafted animal between a rat, cat, and a dog. It tells you that. And then in Leviticus, it says don't even touch the swine. It says don't even touch it. And then God takes it even further and says it's an abomination. And you going to believe one of these and say, if you pray over the food, it's okay. And then have these big dinners, these church dinners with swine on it. When God just said it's an abomination. And Jesus did not eat no swine. Noah did not eat no swine. Aaron did not eat no swine. Abraham did not eat no swine. And I can go right on down the line. But just pray over the food, and it's okay. The swine, the pig, the hog, a crossbreed, a grafted animal between a rat, a cat, and a dog. Isaiah 66, verse 17. I didn't mean to go there, but I had to mention that so we can think. Eat from the rainbow of fruits and vegetables if you can. Just try it. You'll feel so much better. You'll go to the bathroom better. You won't feel as sluggish. And your stomach will shrink, which will reduce your craving for food. Back off the sugar, because sugar is like a drug. It's strong, if not stronger than crack cocaine. It's as addictive as crack cocaine itself. Talking about sugar, an empty carbohydrate. Back off the sugar. I know it's hard. It's hard for me. Eat less and eat smarter. I wish I had the book, 1 meal a day. That's what I've been doing lately. Well, how you do that? I just told you. If you eat less, your stomach will shrink. Your stomach is no bigger than your fists. All this isn't your stomach. Your stomach is no bigger than your fist. And we constantly pumping food in there. Pumping food in there. Pumping food. Because that's what this system has told us to do. Eat 3-4 meals a day and some snacks in between. Where'd they get that from? No sooner than you eat 1 meal. What you need, son?
I'm getting an apple.
Yeah, there's my son. He's getting an apple. Good job, son. There you go, son.
Thanks.
No sooner than you pumping 1 meal in your stomach, you pumping another one in there. And you're not giving your stomach and your digestive system time to digest the last meal. Do intermediate fasting, if not fasting altogether. That's why we have Ramadan with Muslims. Fast all day from sunup to sundown. But do intermittent fasting. several hours without eating, just eating fruits and vegetables and drinking water. Drinking water will fill those pockets in your stomach, which will reduce your hunger. I got someone bringing me hopefully some alkaline water. If your pH balance is at a certain level, cancer cannot reside within a body that has plenty alkaline or a certain pH balance level. Cancer and alkaline don't go together. So drink as much water, especially alkaline water, as possible. Fast throughout the day. Gotta be eating no 3-4 meals a day. It's not natural. Eat more fruits and vegetables. Lay off of the meat and eat from the rainbow of fruits and vegetables. They all have a benefit. Each color has a benefit. At McDonald's, which is a McKiller, and Wendy's and all that stuff, gotta leave that stuff alone. And please Google what I said in the beginning about the number of McDonald's in America. It shows you a digital map and it's orange dots. It is unreal. And if you're my friend on Facebook, you can look it up. It's the last post that I made. And I showed a digital map of McDonald's and it's orange dots. All the McDonald's in America. Unreal. It's not real food. And we're only doing what our forefathers have done. Like Abraham asked his fathers and the idol worshippers, said, why are you worshiping these idols? They serve no benefit to you. They can't talk to you. They can't do anything for you. This is what Abraham said to his father. And Abraham asked his father, why are you worshiping these idols? They have no benefit to you. And the idol worshiper said, we're only doing what our forefathers were doing, what we found our forefathers were doing. So it's the same thing now. The way we eat, which we think is normal, the McDonald's, the chicken and the beef, which is really a dead animal, and nothing dead can have anything, no real nutritional value. We're only doing what we found our forefathers doing. This isn't natural. And that's why we suffer from the 10 killers of black people. Cancer, diabetes, heart disease, on and on and on. It's what we're putting in our body. And we take on the traits, what they say, you are what you eat. Maybe that's why we're killing each other and acting like animals, because we eating dead animals. I don't know. I do know, but you know what I'm saying. So that's the message for tonight. Let's just try to eat healthier so we can live long, prosperous, healthy lives. Prayers for my homie, which means mother in Arabic, Sister Shahida Mohammed. She's really struggling with her health. I've known this woman for 37 years. She's been in my life like a mother to me. I love her like she birthed me. And she is really struggling with her health. So please pray for her. I'm heartbroken. She introduced me to Islam. You may not understand it, you may not believe it, that's fine, but that's what has worked for me. That's what has kept my head above water. And she gave me the love and the nurturing that I didn't have coming up as a youth. 37 years I've known this woman. And she took me in as one of her own, Shahida Mohammed. She saw the best in me when everyone else around only saw the worst in me. And she's really struggling for life. I'm beyond heartbroken. But she told me to keep awakening our people. So even though I didn't get as many brothers as I wanted when we tried to march against the violence yesterday, the least I can do to make a contribution is to deliver these kind of messages to try to lift the mind, body, and soul of our people. Eat to live. Don't live to eat. Eat less. Drink more water. Eat from the rainbow of fruits and vegetables. And eat less. Do intermittent fasting, if not fast the whole day. Our life depends on it. I leave you in peace as I can. Assalamu alaikum. And please leave those chitlins and that swine alone.